Hey y'all, it's Sharon Armstrong. We are going to be making this box on this video, and this box will hold all the cards for this class this month. But this video warrants, this project warrants a video all by itself. It's going to take us a little bit of time, but it's so worth it. So as you know, we're using the Flourishing Phrases stamp set, which I just love. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing our stamping. And I'm stamping the leaves with mint macaron. Just kind of stamp that. And I'm kind of stamping off. And then I want to go up here. Okay. Next we're going to stamp our flower. And I'm using Calypso Coral. And then I need to clean it because now we're going to use the Versamark pad and some copper embossing. I do want to put my embossing buddy where I'm going to be stamping. Let me wipe off my fingers. I love to have a white rag near me so I can wipe off my fingers and try not to look so messy on the videos. If you guys weren't watching me, it'd be a different story. Just kidding. It's just hard to work with that stuff on your fingers, but it sure is worth using. Okay, now for our copper embossing. So as you can see, stamping the front part is really easy. Let me pick this up. Okay, and then we'll heat set. Absolutely stunning. I hope you can see. Oh, there we go. Just love the copper. So addicted. Okay, so next we want to add, oh, look what I did. Okay, I should have poured my embossing powder or embossing buddy over my flower. It looked like it stuck to that a little bit. No harm, but just be careful. So when you're doing yours at home, go ahead and just powder over all of that because our inks do stay dry for a few seconds. So I want to make sure we don't have copper on our flower there. So I already have all the pieces out for to finish embellishing it. So I've cut out the flowers, which you will do with the cardstock that came in your kit. And I want to tell you, on my framelit, on the smaller flower, I have a hard time, even using the precision plate, getting that to cut without sticking and tearing. So if yours does that, I would put, or I would just do it automatically. Just put a piece of wax paper. So you'll put your wax paper, your cardstock, and then your framelit on top. And then that way you won't have that problem. My big one doesn't do it, but the small one does. So just a little tip for you there. Okay, so we're going to put some adhesive, and I'm going to use the multi-purpose glue. Whoa, that came out pretty fast. And I'm going to put the large one over the Calypso Coral flower. And I like to even take my silicone mat and just really press that down. That way, if there's any glue on my fingers, which there is a little bit, it won't stick to me. It'll stick to, and it won't stick to anything. It'll behave itself. All right, got a little overflow glue there, but no problem. All right, so next we'll do the small flowers. Okay. And then I have the metal rimmed pearls. And I'll tell you, I have a hard time getting that little backing off, so I just use my paper piercer and lift that off. And then I use my paper piercer to help me put it where I want it. Just kind of helps guide it. And you'll get these metal rimmed pearls in your card kit if you ordered that. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to form a little banner tail with this tip top taupe. If you have the triple banner punch, use that. Love that. We're going to put some, I use fast fuse on this project just because it's a book and everything kind of gets used a lot. So I have a little bit of adhesive right there, so I think that's where my banner will be. Actually, I think I cut it too long, so I'm going to back it off just a little bit. And I'll just trim it. Okay, next I've already cut a piece out with using the framelit, and you'll notice when you use the framelit, let me grab it, there's a finished end. You're only going to use just a little bit, so actually the piece of cardstock that I give you is enough to use on another card that you're going to be making for this box. So it's really fun and easy just to trim up. Let's see if I can do it. Oh yeah, I can do it. Okay, so what I did was, let's see if I can do it on this one. I cut like that. And I'll back off so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just cutting this round circle so that it looks like this end. That way you have a finished end. Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's use some adhesive. Again with the multi-purpose glue. You don't need a finished end on both ends. I was just showing you how to do it. If when you cut yours it looks like it's kind of messy, you can just make it pretty. Okay. All right. Next, I have a punched out circle, and the measurements or everything are in your kit, but your punched out circle will come in your kit. I need to do a little bit of stamping on it. Not that you can really see it, but I felt like it looked funny just being plain vanilla. Okay. And then I'm going to add another flower. So you'll have a big enough piece to cut out 3 flowers in your card kit. Yeah, I was like, did I put that on with a dimensional? Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Just going to put that right in the center. Okay, and then we have one more metal rimmed pearl. We'll put that in the center. And then we're going to put this on with the dimensional. I'm actually going to hold off on that until let's go ahead and put our backing on. And again, I used See, I should have put my adhesive on because now I've got those pearls, so bear with me for just a moment while I see if I can do this without making a mess. I'm using Fast Fuse because this is a box that's going to get opened and closed and opened and closed. And I really found, like, actually I made this project quite a while back and I was pretty impressed that it was still all together. Actually, I think I made it last summer and I realized that I'd never used it as a class. I was like, oh, I need to pull that out because it's so pretty. All right, so we'll just center this on here. Okay, and again, I'm going to wait to put my embellishment on. What the heck, we've already done it with 2 embellishments. We'll go ahead and get our dimensionals. And I'm going to put 2 on, again, just for stability. Alright, so we'll line this up right here. So fun! Just love it. Okay, alright, I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to do the box. So I'm going to close up all my ink pads because I know I'm going to need my space here. Plus I've done all the stamping, so I don't need it. I don't need my pads out anymore. Oh, I just remembered something. Not done with my stamping. Let me show you why. All right, we're going to be stamping the edges of the box, and you really need these little panels to reinforce it. So I have some Berry Vanilla strips, and I'm just going to line them all up and stamp all at one time. Speed stamping. Okay, now we can put our stamp pads up. All right, since I have these here, I'll go ahead and mount them on their mats. When you're using the Fast Fuse, give it a little check. I'll check. See what happens when you don't check? You get this goo. Okay, so we have our panels done. So now we're going to put the box together, and your instructions have all the scoring and everything that you need to do. So on this one, this is the bottom of the box, you're going to notch out the 4 corners. And so I left one so that I could notch it out in front of you. I'm just going to come up that score line, and then I'm just going to take a little bit out. I want to take some of the bulk out so that when I put my Fast Fuse on, then it won't be so bulky when I close it up. So we want the flaps to go on the inside. I'll turn it around and do all 4 corners. Okay, then we'll just fold these in. Whoops, on the inside, Sharon. So now we have our box, and I'm going to go ahead and apply the panels at this point. The panels really do help enforce this cardstock. And I love that I didn't have to use designer series paper. I just stamped my own Very Vanilla with the stamp and created my own DSP background paper. Normally I tell you don't need a whole lot of fast fuse, but for this box, please do. You need a lot. We don't want it to fall apart. Okay, so next we're going to put our box together, okay? And so we're going to put a lot of fast fuse on here and actually on the spine itself, okay? I really wish our silicone mats were longer. I've said that many times. Oh, I just realized I screwed up. So you don't want to come all the way to the edge because our box is a little bit smaller. Can y'all see that? So don't do what I do. So come in about 1 inch and you'll be fine. Okay, so now we're ready to put our box down. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it to make sure it's kind of centered. And then we'll close the spine up. And there we go. Okay, I can see a little bit of adhesive, but I will work on that with the eraser. All right, so next we're going to put our ribbon on, and the ribbon needs to go on before you put your top on, okay? So we're going to wrap this around and kind of get the edges even, okay? And then you can put some adhesive down. I think I'll go ahead. So about in the center, we're going to put some adhesive to hold that ribbon. On the back side, it's a little harder because we've already put the box together. But let's see, on this one, did I do it? I did, and I know how I did it. I'll show you. Like I said, I made that box a long time ago. All right, so we're going to put this on. And then we're going to put the adhesive on the ribbon itself. And I love that it does that. And then I'm going to stop probably, what, about 4 inches from the edge. And that probably wasn't enough. I probably needed to stop about 6 inches from the edge because I can feel adhesive there, but I will work on that and get it off. Another great thing to get adhesive off besides the eraser is hand sanitizer. Works really well, especially on fabric. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put our top on, our decorative piece on, and that will help hold that ribbon as well. Oh, going over those pearls, not easy. Put the pearls on last, guys. Sometimes I get ahead of myself on the videos. It's like, okay, I got to get all this done before I can do something else. All right, let's see here. There we go. And then you'll just tie this. And it's very sticky because of what I did. I bet it stays closed with that glue on there. What do you think? There we go. All right, now we're done and we're ready to make the cards that go inside. Come back for the next video.